In 1994, when I was almost 8 years old, the country went through the tragedy, the genocide that caused a lot of mass killing. Around 1 million of people died in 100 days. The environment wasn't safe that time because suddenly in the night we saw a lot of people running away, and then people started killing each other. Then my family, my dad and my mom, decided to take us trying to seek a refuge. The journey from then until we reached the refugee camp in Tanzania was very dramatic and very bad. It took around a month because we could go hide some places and work during the night and hide during the days. But in that journey, as a kid, we saw a lot of bad things, really bad memories, because you can see some people being killed, people people you used to play soccer with as a kid, your friends, your family members, and I remember the time the killers came and they started, killing other people when we were near another side of the bushes, and I thought, as a kid, I was naive. I was kind of innocent. I didn't know people would kill each other. Life in refugee camp, we didn't think like we would survive that situation, and so we were desperate. My family, they would also try to move somewhere people can't recognize them because, they were suspect. They were the target. People were still being killed. Due to the ethnicities, the tension, they found you are different ethnic, they would, of course, get rid of you and eliminate you. Then my family decided to relocate, to come back in the country. We arrived in January 1997. So arriving in the country, it was a war-torn country and most of the things were destroyed. But when I came back, after like a week, my dad was killed. He was going to go downtown, then he left and he didn't come back. So he was killed. And then the situation started getting worse again, and then we lived in fear and, hopeless. And then that time, I was like, you know what, life is meaningless to me, because losing a dad at that time, I was 11, so it was really bad. Adding up all the situation, what we went through, and then losing him like that, it was really painful. The country faced hunger, the whole country. And I remember at the time we would go to bed, no food, like 2 days or 3 days. At that time I started feeling other people's lives and see people struggling. I'm like, I want to get this problem solved sometimes in the future. Like go and see kids with swollen tummies, stomach because of malnutrition. Those make me don't feel the pain I was going through or the hardship I was going through, but I started feeling responsible or how I can make their condition being better. So I grew up, I was driven by the fact of people who were around me who were poor, and then I'm like, I want to find a solution to those who are going through that. In my area of Eastern Province, they grow mainly rice in the swamps, and maize is the major cereal crops they are growing there. When you see those crops, especially maize, it doesn't have a high nutrition value. You see kids with stunting and all those kind of issues, lack of nutrition. Well, they can have maize and get their stomach full, but it's not going to help them grow that much. And I was like, if we continue this way, just eating quantity but not the quality in terms of nutrition, there's a time Rwanda can be an unproductive society. Because we know, like, when you get a good nutrition, the brain works good and there is a good brain development. A country like Rwanda that is dominated of youth, like in the long run, if there is a lack of nutritious food, we can have a productive society later on. That's why I'm introducing quinoa that is around 16% protein content, which is the highest compared to the existing grains we've ever seen. Nobody has grown quinoa before in Rwanda, and actually in a lot of countries in Africa. So it was the first time it was introduced. These women and men are local farmers, and we like to work with the local farmers to be part of the project because being their participation, it's kind of participatory research. I'm testing 20 varieties of quinoa and 10 populations of quinoa to see how they perform in this environment for adoption. It's better to start with a smaller number, and then if they know about it, they know the potential, they love it, their next door neighbor will want it. Like my mom, she grows it and she loved it, and her friends, her neighbors started asking her, oh, what is this, and she started giving them seed and explaining to them, and it's growing chain like that. And that's what I'm doing in different part of the country. I'm working with 12 model farmers that are distributed around in every province in the country, and those small numbers, it will grow with the time. The Borlaug Leap Fellowship allowed me to come back in my community and do something I wanted to do for a long time. So it made my dream come true, for sure. So it's like, it impacted my life in a lot of ways. It's like when you have been dreaming to achieve that thing and it happens, someone helped you to make it happen. That's what the Borlaug Leap Fellowship did to me. Also, it helped me, beside of sponsoring my research, and be able to work with the community and do a project that you believe it will make impact in a lot of people's lives. It also helped me develop a relationship with my peers and my colleagues and research or other fellows or other research institutions to develop, to learn from them. If you want to make a zero hunger Africa, it's not one person, it's a big group of people working together. We have an African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go together.